Hello everyone and welcome to Weazel News. I'm your host Horatio Bathale, and tonight we talk about a high-speed chase, a man set free, and a police department possibly in peril. Good afternoon ladies and gentlemen. Tonight we talk about the latest in a wave of bank heists sweeping our beloved city. Earlier this week, a man by the name of Maximus Prime, pictured behind me, was arrested for robbing the Fleeca Bank on Harwick Venue. We go live to me at the scene of the crime. Good evening, viewers. My name is Horatio Bathale, and I'm standing here in downtown Los Santos. This part of the city is home to Life, Liberty, and the Fleeca Bank. This particular bank is the location where one Mr. Maximus Prime and his associates held two men at gunpoint. They robbed this bank of the city's hard earnings. LSPD was quick to arrive on scene and begin negotiations. Mr. Prime happens to be what some in the city refer to as an expert negotiator, so he used his two hostages to ensure three demands before leaving the scene. His first demand was safe passage to his car parked directly outside the bank, as you can see with our news van behind me. His second was for the request of no spike strips to ensure his vehicle could make a safe getaway. His third and final request was for them to ground Air 1, the police chopper used in high-speed pursuits, to ensure he could quickly lose the police in the downtown area. Although he didn't know it, Mr. Prime had started a controversy. We'll go now to the high-speed chase, and we want our viewers to pay close attention to what they see. We see one car and two units pop out of an alleyway there. The units are in close pursuit as they head back into downtown Los Santos. We do need to maintain a professional distance, as we have been warned by PD that they are not 100% fans of our antics. The voice in the car is one of our high-speed cameramen, Horatio Bathale. As he follows the scene, take note of a helicopter popping just in and out of view at the top of your screens at home. You'll see the helicopter does indeed have LSPD markings and was closely following the pursuit. You might be asking yourself, how is this possible? Well, we can assure you, you weren't the only one. Thanks to the determination and bravery of LSPD, Mr. Prime was detained and sentenced to 80 months in Bolingbrook Penitentiary, where he got partial time off for his good behavior. We reached out to his manager, Ron Jackson, who arranged an interview for us with Mr. Prime upon his release. We go now to our on-the-ground reporter, Horatio Bathale, for that story. Alright, so Weazel News here, Horatio Bathale with Mr. Maximus Prime, recently released from Bolingbrook Penitentiary. Mr. Prime, why don't you tell us a little bit about what happened to you today?
Well, it's just another day in the office, just doing a little chase. After a little bank robbery just hit, and things got a little bit complicated with the chase there. That lasted a good minute, longer than my other chases. But ended up, doing some time, getting caught, packing boxes, the usual.
Do you have anything that you'd like to say regarding PD's tactics for bringing you down?
Well, to start off with, we had two hostages, and then one of our requests was no Air 1. And, I mean, you were there yourself. They definitely had Air 1. As a matter of fact, I think they had two helis out there.
We
So,
do
I
have
feel like,
footage that we can insert later on to show that there was not one but two helicopters involved in that scene. You are correct. We interrupt this broadcast to let you know that we have lost that footage.
yeah, and we had two hostages, and we made the request of no Air 1s. I talked about it later on to the officer that booked me, and he was saying I had to be a little bit more specific next time to say no Air 1 during the chase, not no Air 1 in exchange of the hostage, which is kind of sus. He was saying yeah, we took out Air 1, but you didn't say that we can bring it on later on, and I was like, what is that all about? That's not how it works.
Right, right.
When we say no Air 1, that means no Air 1. So I don't
Completely
know
understandable.
what's the PD here is pulling, but I don't like it. I don't like it one bit.
Well, before Weasel News wraps up this broadcast, is there anything you'd like to say to the city or any friends or family watching at home?
How's it going, everybody's Ant-Man? I just wanted to let you guys know If you ever want to do a bank or, get your adrenaline pumping, just let me know. Hit me up. You know who to call. Call my boy Ron Jackson over there, my manager slash agent. And yeah, it's right there. And he'll give you a call. So appreciate you guys. Thank you for all the support.
So, is LSPD breaking the law whenever it suits them? Mr. Prime surely seems to believe so. However, LSPD was quick to hear of Mr. Prime's statements, and they've offered the following response.
So, from what I was told earlier this morning, we were in a active 90 with a bank robbery when a when two suspects had two hostages in hand. We received two suspects. We received the two hostages safely, and then began to chase the perps. Um, we then found out that one of the suspects had taken out a vehicle, and a secondary vehicle was on their way coming. In that case, we broke demands, which is, it's a tough situation, but, to keep it fair, if they're allowed to pull out a vehicle, you know, we're going to pull out a secondary vehicle as well. One of their demands was no Air One. In that case, we pulled back out our Air One to keep up with the situation. And that is when the Air One was then taken out um, and re-enlisted in the situation, and that's basically how this whole thing went down.
Well, there you have it. Just a normal day of cops catching criminals here in Los Santos, officially making this report a waste of time. This has been Horatio Bathale. Thank you, and have a good night.